first half and pretty much smashed his way, brought to you by Smashburger, to a victory in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is, look, he was looking to be a real factor in today's game. And I think he had 22 points in game 1. He didn't really have a stamp on it, fingerprints on that basketball game. But he was not going to let that happen twice. And the thing about Kawhi, is when you look at a lot of these shots that he made, the hands were in his face.
Does the ball even get above the rim?
Yeah, he just is a shot maker, and tonight he was making them.
Kawhi's emotional level is even keel.
Yeah. That was the storyline for the Nuggets in this game. You know, they forced turnovers in game 1. Tonight, they did not protect the rock. 20 times they coughed it up. And they were weird. They were self-inflicted. They were unforced errors, especially in crucial moments of this game.
So for the, majority of the season, when the Nuggets had high turnover games, they had a lot of them. It was this kind of stuff, live ball turnovers, trying passes, dribbling into crowds, and you thought that maybe, most of it is behind him, and I think maybe the evidence since David Adelman has taken over as interim coach is that most of them are behind him. But this day looked like a lot of the regular season games.
Joker had 7 of the 20.
High. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, they were sloppy turnovers. And the point that I go back to was the middle of the second quarter. They had a couple bad shots, along with 3 turnovers for layup. So it totally swung an 8-point Nuggets lead back to momentum game-tied Clippers. And that stretch there, you're going to win this series, you're going to have to grind the Clippers. You're going to have to grind. Every possession counts. Take care of the ball.
When we come back on Nuggets Postgame Live, I just thought of something. That's the first loss of the Adelman era.
Yep.
We will hear from interim head coach David Adelman as the Nuggets fall to the clip joint. 105-102. I want to take you to a sequence that occurred with about a minute and a half to play. Nuggets have the ball. Well, they had the ball. And then Porter goes to the floor, and watch what happens. Keep an eye on his shoulder area because he got up in obvious pain after that incident. I mean, you could have called a foul on Chris Dunn, but there was so much mayhem going on. I mean, he gets flattened. And word is MPJ went in for x-rays on that shoulder. Obviously have no results of what happened, but clearly that man was in pain.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Dunn basically jumped on him. I mean, if we're just calling him like we see him.
David Adelman, coach's comments brought to you by Advent Health.
Go ahead. David, hindsight's obviously 2020, but I believe you had a timeout there.
Yeah.
There late. Can you just kind of explain the thought process on letting it ride?
Yeah, multiple reasons. In transition, I thought we had a chance to get an open 3. I mean, numbers were going the other way. Traditionally, they foul up 3. I thought we'd get the best opportunity. I thought CV was open when he caught it to shoot it. And then obviously off the offensive rebound, my first instinct was to call timeout, but the ball came to Nikola. And I did not think we could get him a good catch if they're going to foul. And if I call the timeout, then we have none left after that. So it's a tough situation. When you get runouts like that, a lot of times in our league with guys falling down and the numbers, you can find a 3 that way. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Looking back, if I watch the film, watch the tape, I have to see what the situation was on CB's catch. Once he didn't shoot it, I could have called it. Maybe that's the one thing I'll look back on, wondering, maybe I should have called it there.
Coach, when you look at it got to be a physical game at different points. Did you think that affected Nikola? He uncharacteristically 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Did that play a part in it, or did you feel like the way that game was unfolding, that was the way they were playing, defended him, and the game was being called affected him?
Maybe. I thought their defensive rotations were good. We had to look back at our spacing. I didn't think our spacing, on the backside was good enough to take advantage of them bringing 3-4 people across the court. If they're going to do that, we have to find the open man on the weak side and take advantage of it. I didn't think we did that enough. And they zoned up the backside. Kawhi made a big play at the end, getting a steal. So again, you can look back at the tape. They made adjustments. We have to do the same thing, make sure we get him in space properly. We had a lot of good looks too, and you can't miss 8 free throws in games like this. That was a killer. And obviously the points off turnovers, just like in game 1, we won that battle, and tonight they won that battle. And games like this that grind and the possessions are so tough, those easy baskets going the other way are such a killer. We had the loose ball turnover towards the end. It just seemed like every time we got back in it, tied it, took the lead, a multitude of mistakes would follow that. And once you have momentum, you can't have mistakes like that, get them right back to where they were before, up 3, up 5, up 6. Just felt like it was uphill all night.
What did you see from Kawhi tonight?
He was incredible. It was one of those things, too. He had 39, and shot the ball so efficiently, but they only scored 105 points. And so it was a tough, if we come and get him and Norman gets going, you're rotating to James now in a closeout. And so you're playing a tough game there, because if you make a decision to go hit him, you are saying, open shots are somewhere. But to his credit, over contested hands, made some incredible shots. We know what he is. He's an all-time player. But another thing, we have to, watch the film and say, hey, how can we do better? We can do better than that. But to his credit, he was awesome tonight.
Your take on MPJ and his physical nature and going to the boards?
Yeah, he was better tonight. And he hit a huge 3 to tie it. We were trying to sneak him back out after the timeout play. Obviously Michael really stretches the floor, and the way that they were guarding, bringing 3 and 4 people to one side of the court. We have to find a way to make Mike an impact player in those situations if they're willing to leave and rotate, and we can do better. Looking at the tape, I thought we did a better job in game 1, and in game 2 they made adjustments, and we have to look at it and find a way to make Mike an impactful player if that's how they're going to guard.
David, how much does it hurt just losing home court advantage, leaving here 1-1 instead of 2-0?
I thought this series would be like this. Both really good teams. We both, throughout the season, had ups and downs, but now we're both healthy and going at it. I know how good of a team they are, and I think we can go down there and win. I really do. And the series always felt like it was going to be like this. Both games were such a grind. I'm sure they're sitting there saying, we should have won game 1. And we'll probably watch a tape and go, man, we had a chance to win game 2. And so that's what it's going to be like. And we have to bring our focus, be connected, take the day tomorrow to get mentally right, physically right, prepare, fly to LA and get a win.
DA, on your right here, I know it might be nitpicking, and he went 4 of 8 from 3, but is Joker passing up threes that you maybe wish he would take instead of getting into the action that way?
Yeah, we'll watch the tape with him. I think sometimes when he drives and kicks, it leads to easy baskets, wide open looks from 3 for other people. And to their credit, when he drove it, they did a good job of bringing people, but also zoning up passing lanes. And, he's a professional. As professional as it gets in our league. So he'll watch the tape just like we do. And if he feels like to win the next game, he's got to take more shots. I know he will. But again, he had a triple-double. It flipped the script. Kawhi had 7 mistakes last game. Nikola did this game with all the different defenses being thrown at both players. So we'll help him, see the tape so he can play in space better and make the decisions he wants to make.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, what led?
Double for Nikola Jokic tonight, 26 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, but he also had 7 turnovers. A lot of that due to the way the Clippers defended him, and they swallowed up the lane. They would not let anything happen inside the key. Sky Cam shot of the game, and the shot is pretty simple. You couldn't get a shot in the lane. The Nuggets only had 38 paint points, guys. That's the 3rd fewest all season.
Not only 38, but all 18 of those came on second chance points. So they really only had 20 points out of their offense in the paint.
All right, so what are they doing?
Well, a lot of this, I think it should be said, the Clippers were about the best team at preventing points in the paint in the regular season. So this is their ability to clog up the lane and make a team look like this is exactly on schedule for them. Now, Jokic, out of his 16 shot attempts, 8 of them were from the 3-point line. So, he's going to have to, they're going to have to space it better around him. We heard David Adelman say that a little bit, because he needs more room to be able to roam. Or you need those rotations that they're making to have to be longer out to somebody else. Because if they're longer, now you're not getting to maybe a shooter. Now the Nuggets, now that reopens up Nikola Jokic. And so these things kind of go hand in hand.
Wild night for Jamal Murray. He nearly got into a brawl with Norman Powell. Finished the game with 23 points, 4 of 8 from the three-point line. I thought Jamal up and down, but that thing with Norman Powell was crazy. He got mad.
Well, yeah, he got pushed 2 hands in the back trying to guard him. And then, he had to take exception to that. And you know what? More power to him, because you can't just take hits like that.
I agree.
And then just say, what? Okay.
Well, that whole play started with, there was an illegal screen by Nicholas Batum on the sideline, totally clipped Jamal off, no call. So he was trailing this play, and that's when it all happened.
In fact, can we show the Jamal Powell back and forth? Because that's what, you saw at the end of it, Jamal basically forklifting Powell off the ground. But here's how it started. Watch 27.
Watch the weak side over here.
Oh, he gets shoved. Yeah. He's mad now. Yeah, he's like, you going to shove me? Yeah, okay.
Right.
Well, I'm going to pick you up then.
Right. Powell shoves him in the back, and then so then he goes and gets him. And that's exactly what he should have done in that situation. Because what you can't do, this is not, we're going to intimidate you with physical force situation. Yeah. And Jamal Murray's not taking that. So, I thought this was great.
I love it. Yeah. I love the fact that Christian Brown got in there, MPJ got in there. No, man, we ain't playing that.
When it all came about, the Nuggets got 1 less technical foul, so they got a free throw. 3 techs on the Clips, 2 techs on the Nuggets, +1.
Well, let's hear what Jamal Murray had to say about that and the game. These tweets are hilarious. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. Unfortunately, the Nuggets end up on the losing end of it. Here's Jamal downstairs addressing the media.
Hey, Jamal, they said on the maybe on the TV broadcast that you were dealing with some sort of illness. You don't look like you're feeling great, and that's why you're in the sleeves. How are you feeling? And I guess how hard was it to push through whatever you're fighting?
I played through it. It was cool. I'm no excuses. I played through it.
Jamal, the late game execution on you guys. A couple of missed opportunities. What did you see out there?
Just exactly that. I felt like when we got a stop, we just had a couple missed opportunities. Even when I almost turned it over, I think AG missed a dunk because he was looking at the shot clock. Got a stop. Mike turned over. Like those ones really hurt. And I think I had a turnover somewhere in there. We just got to take care of the ball, especially when we get a stop. Can't give it right back. But we definitely had a chance to win the game. So now our mind switched, and we got to go to LA with an attack mindset and get one of these games.
You feel like it'll continue to be physical, and can you just kind of describe what happened with you and Norman there, where you
just competing, man? I have nothing against Norman, man. He has nothing against me. We're just competing, and we got into it for a second. Well, we're good though.
But do you feel like that's kind of the nature of this series? It's just going to be like that?
No, I mean any series. If you can look at any basketball that's been played in the playoffs, it's going to be like that. And like I said, we have nothing against each other. We respect each other, and we just didn't like what we both did on the court, and that's fair.
You guys have faced Kawhi before in the bubble, and obviously several years. Just when he gets kind of into that mode where he's making contested shots, just is there anything that can be done just in a one-on-one sense to kind of disrupt him like that?
Yeah, just kind of give him a different look, and not let him get to his spots. No, that's really what the game is about. Just getting to your spots, and tonight he got to spots, and even when we're there, he made some tough shots, and that's what great players do. So he had a night. He got going, and he was tough to stop along the stretch. But like I said, we had chances to ice the game, win the game, stretch the lead to 10, even before the fourth last couple of minutes. So this loss kind of feels like it was on us. Given the opportunities that we missed, everybody.
Just 20 turnovers as a team. They had 20 turnovers on their side. Just it feels like it's going to go back and forth between you guys. Just you knew how competitive this thing was going to happen, like execution wise. Just how important is it for every single possession kind of to value the basketball?
Very important.
Jamal, we obviously saw a lot more from Mike tonight. How good was that? Obviously, maybe got a little shaken up at the end, but to see him come in and have such a big impact.
100%. I'm not really worried about Mike, man. He's going to compete. He's always going to bounce back. He's always going to take that personal, whatever y'all were talking about. So he came in, he made an impact. He was grabbing boards, he was talking, he was just more committed, and he hit a couple big shots, big rebounds, and stuff like that. So I thought he played great. Just would have felt a lot better if we came out with the dub. So, but we didn't.
Anything else? One more right here in the middle. Jamal, you guys have been really good on the road the last couple of years in the playoffs. What type of mentality do you guys need to bring to LA?
Same kind of mentality. Just got to hit first and play fast, and I play with some confidence. You know what I'm saying? Kind of take the life out of the gym. We're just going to go out there and play hard. That's what the game's about. Like I said, the stat sheet. Everybody misses shots and stuff like that, whatever. But just playing hard is not on the stat sheet. So I think if we just do that, play physical, and like I said, be confident on the road, we can replicate what we've done in past years and get the job done.
Yeah, speaking of the road, you guys realize that the Nuggets, get up, Norman. The Nuggets have won 8 of their last 10 road playoff games. They like playing on the road. Mm-hmm. You mentioned it, Chris Dempsey. Both home teams in the NBA lost tonight.
Yeah. Not a good night to be a 4 seed playing in a game 2 at home in the NBA. The Detroit Pistons went into New York and beat the Knicks earlier as well. Look, these series, I fully expected this series, and I'm talking about the Nuggets now, to go 7 games. And you're not going to have that without a team winning on the road probably a couple of times in this series. And so the Nuggets will get their chance to do that on Thursday.
Let's go downstairs. Peyton Watson talking to reporters in the Nuggets locker room.
First game could have gone either way, and we could have lost, but we won. And this game could have gone either way, and we lost this one. So, it's just about staying with it, staying together, and just having that resilience.
All week you've talked about how difficult Kawhi Leonard is to match up with, how talented he is. What was he able to get to?
I mean, whatever he wanted tonight. We definitely got to do a better job of disrupting him. I think we did a better job in the first game. So, obviously, they have a lot of threats, and we just got to key in on Kawhi because, he was doing his thing tonight. He was clicking on all cylinders, and he's a great player. So, when you're dealing with Hall of Fame level players, you just got to, sometimes tip your hat to him, and it was a great game.
2 games in, how would you describe the way the series is going to be?
Like I said, a dogfight. It's not going to be easy. Neither team is going to be handed a series win. So it's definitely just going to be one of those ones where it's a grind. But I see every game being pretty much close, and I see us fighting to the end with these guys. They're a really talented team.
How much does it hurt losing home court advantage and leaving here 1-1 instead of 2-0?
It hurts because we need every game, even if we were on the road and we dropped 1 game or 2 games. I mean, every loss hurts at this point in the season. Every team is racing to 16 wins. So I think we just got to keep our heads high, be positive, not get too down on ourselves, and be ready for the next game.
What did you see with that dust up with Jamal and in the third quarter? What did that do for the team, if anything?
Just competitive energy. I think Jamal felt as though the refs missed a call. So I think he went to foul intentionally just kind of to make a point. And obviously Norm, he reacted a way that, that'll escalate a situation at times. So, I'm not mad at either guy. It's just competitive energy flaring.
Jamal said he wasn't worried about MPJ. Obviously, your locker's right next to him, but how good was it to see him bounce back and have the contributions he had?
It was good. I mean, I don't ever think anything was wrong with him. I don't think that anything ever was negative or bad about, his game. I think that he's Mike Porter Jr. and he'll be Michael Porter Jr. yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I don't think that anyone's lost confidence in his abilities or what he could do as a ball player, and he's a big key for our team. So it was obviously amazing to see him make some shots.
When they're running bodies at Jokic and he's playing these crazy minutes, how important is it for guys to step up and still be able to create the right spacing to make shots, to kind of give him that freedom? It feels like it's just like every time he gets it, they're sagging or they're doubling, they're running at him. How important is it for other guys to step up and be able to make shots?
I mean, it's super important. It's a game of seconds and feet. And, when there's a lot of 6 and 7 footers out there with their hands in your face and, kind of doubling and tripling Yoke, it becomes hard at times. So like you said, the spacing is super, super important. But I think we all understand what our roles are on this team and what our jobs are and what space to get to in any given situation. So that'll be better next game as well.
It's the third straight year, but as a LA kid, how excited are you to go back to play in LA in the playoffs?
Oh, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be able to get to play in front of my family, my friends, and my loved ones. So I never take this time of the year for granted. You know, it's the best 2 words in basketball, playoff basketball. So I'm glad that I'm going to be able to do that again in front of my folks back home. And it's a blessing, like I said.
How confident are you that you guys can get one back in LA?
Very confident.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Game 2, Nuggets and Cliffs. We're going to hear from Michael Porter Jr. shortly. Got to get him going early, and they did. There you go. Easy buckets. What do you know? Nuggets led most of the first half. Clippers would have been in trouble if not for the clock. I mean, how many of those did he hit tonight? 100? Yeah, it felt like it. Mid-range game. LA had a chance to take the lead, but James Harden blows the bunny there, and Gordon goes the distance to Joker. Playing tight end. Heck, Harden, early in the game, he couldn't even keep a dribble. What's going on? Fumbles another one. The Nuggets push it. They push it real good, and Jalen Pickett for 3. The Nuggets led by as many as 8. You're thinking, okay, here we go.
That's 9 right there, Vic, in case you're looking.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the math. But the Clippers open the second quarter on a 6-0 run. Now do your math, because it's all tied up.
Yeah, all 3 turnovers, all 3 layups.
18 lead changes, 13 ties in this game. Nuggets bounce right back. Corner 3, Russ. I'm told he likes the corner 3.
Yeah, he's one of the highest corner 3 percentage guys in the league.
Tie game in the final seconds of the half. Look at Kawhi. It was this kind of night. Triple team. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Are you going to do that? You're going to do that in Hanslick's presence?
That was Jordan-esque right there, Devs.
Sweet play here to open the third quarter. Joker goes up top. AG.
Yeah. He didn't have as many of that kind of thing tonight as he had in game 1.
And then that crazy fracas. Jamal's mad. He's coming in 100 miles an hour. He lifts Norman Powell off the floor. Everybody gets all up in their feels here. And after a couple hostile acting calls, whatever that means.
What was that official doing in there? You can't even see him. He's right in the mix.
Hey, the Nuggets got a free throw out of this.
Sure did.
And Nuggets score 1 for the Nuggets. They got a point out of that whole thing. Kawhi Leonard, meanwhile, still unconscious in the fourth quarter. You got guys falling all over his feet, making shots.
I'm here to tell you that's super hard to defend. He stops on a dime, step back 3.
Nuggets storm back behind the sharp shooting of Russell Westbrook.
Over the corner. He's keeping him in the corners. He's knocking them all in.
Tied up again. 4 minutes to play now. Ball gets volleyballed up in the air. Joker snags it. Gets his triple-double with this assist to Michael Porter Jr. It's all tied up again. Kept saying that because they kept tying it up again. Key play here. Under 2 minutes to play. Even Steven. Oh my
Look at
goodness.
AG down there.
Oh my goodness.
AG and CB on a 2-on-1.
And now 3 for Powell, and they would never trail again. He steps into it. Final seconds for the Nuggets. Still had a chance to tie. CB. Nope. Nikola. Nope. Of course, after the game, David Adelman wondering if he should have called the timeout. Fellas, I don't know about you guys, but you get looks there. I think just let him play.
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
Chevy post-game stats.
100% let him go with thing. The thing, these things are, little things are so big. Obviously the turnovers, we talked about that, but the missed free throws.
Oh, yeah.
For 8 missed free throws, a couple more there.
I mean, you cut that in half and you win the game.
Yeah, we were talking about timeout. You take all the points added up right now, it's a difference of 1.
Yeah. Well, you saw Michael Porter Jr. go down holding his shoulder. He finished with 15 points, 15 rebounds. He's talking to reporters right now.
I made a stupid play after I got the rebound and tried to make up for it, and just someone landed on my shoulder. And I never felt something like this on my shoulder, but it's good though. It's just a joint sprain, so it's nothing too serious. So hopefully I can do what I can do to heal it up.
With everything on the line, obviously that's going to push you even more to make sure you're good to go in LA, correct?
Yeah, I never experienced a pain like this in my shoulder area. I've had like rolled ankles, so I know what I can play through with that. I've never had this, but luckily it's on my left side, not my right side, so that's good.
Like, what do you feel like you guys could have done differently tonight?
Just turnovers. I had the biggest one of the game at the end. I feel like that's kind of a loss. And then Norman Powell 3. Just little things. AG, had time to just dunk it in. And then the turnovers really killed us. Kawhi had an amazing game as well.
When they're sending the double, the triple teams to Nikola, how can you guys move around him a little bit better, make it easier on yourselves?
We got to look at the film and see, I think.
Michael, why did you feel the need to go around to your teammates here in the locker room and apologize for the loss?
Because I feel like it was on me with that turnover. I feel like if I would have I thought I had two guys. I thought I had someone like streaking down. I was trying to get it up, advance it up, but I saw that I didn't. So then I ended up turning it over. Just felt like that was the biggest turnover of the game. So I was just like, man, like every game is so serious in the playoffs. I just had to tell my guys my fault. That was my mistake.
Mentally, what did it take for you to overcome the way game one went for you?
I'm a mentally strong person, so I'm pretty resilient, I think. So I just was trying to be more ready to go today. It sucks that it ended how it did, without the win, but I tried to be a little bit more ready to go today. I'm dealing with some stuff, behind the scenes, that has been affecting the way I play, like some physical stuff, with my shoes and the brace that I wear that's been bothering me. So I've been thinking too much while I've been playing the last few games of the regular season and the first game, but tonight I just tried to compete.
Well, because you were able to contribute so much more, statistically, certainly. Is that something to build on, that whatever you're doing to work through the challenges didn't affect you much?
Yeah. I definitely feel like my team is going to need me, so I got to be ready to go. And I got to figure out this shoulder so I can be ready to go game 3.
The rebounding in particular, 6 offensive rebounds for you tonight. How did that get you going?
I just knew that, the way that they're playing me, the way that they're, putting Kawhi on me, and I'm not getting lots of open looks. They're blacking out on all the plays that we would run for me. They're switching out. So I know the shots that I'm going to get this series is transition and offensive rebounds. There's not going to be a lot of, open threes for me, I don't think, this series. So I just try to be more cognizant of that this game.
Do you know what's been causing the brace to bother you?
Yeah, it broke. My one I was in for the last 3 years broke. So the one I've been trying to get used to a new one. None of them seem to fit right, and it's just affecting my movement, and I'm not used to them. So I haven't been as confident in my movements since that one had broke that I've been in for the last while.
How hard is it to deal with that at this point in the season? The most.
All right, so Michael Porter Jr. Admitting a couple things. Number one, he's never had a shoulder injury like that, so he's not sure how he'll recover. And also, he's been dealing with some issues with his feet. And he's got drop foot, for those that don't know, and he wears a brace, a special brace, to keep that intact. Now, the original brace is broken, so he's got a new one, and it's not working with his shoes properly, and it's causing some issues. And we mentioned the turnovers. Game 1, that's why the Clippers lost. Game 2, it's why the Nuggets lost. I mean, it's the exact inverse.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I just think for the Nuggets, this is a little bit more. Yeah, it's a more, if you feel it more acutely because they've had a personality of turnovers over the course of the season versus the Clippers, who have been, generally speaking, a lower turnover team over the course of the season. So of these two teams, game 3 is going to be very, very, very interesting to see which one of these two teams reverts back to a higher turnover situation, and which one of them stays in a lower turnover situation. For the Nuggets, I think they have to dial in on that a whole lot more because they're prone to slipping back into, a high turnover space.
2 days off before they meet again in L.A. And remember, folks, if you want some good news, not much from this game, but good news, 8 of the last 10 road playoff games for the Nuggets, 8 of 10 victorious. They like the road in the postseason. And we're going to hit the road as the Nuggets fall at home in Game 2 for Bill Hanslick, Chris Dempsey. I'm Vic Lombardi. We'll see you again Thursday night.